Is true stealth about hiding in the shadows or bending reality itself? Well, both Spider-Man and Batman have taken those ideas to the extreme in their own unique ways. So it's time to see who really reigns supreme in the world of stealth. It's me, and this is my channel. Welcome to the Build-Off, where today we'll be putting two very different takes on what the ultimate urban stealth vehicles should be up against each other in a battle to the death. Up first, let's take a look at the blueprints for the Night Wraith. The Night Wraith doesn't just hide from detection. It can also actively throw off enemy sensors. By releasing a cloud of tiny metamaterial particles, the Night Wraith can create a smokescreen that confuses all tracking devices. This is a truly terrifying capability that makes the Night Wraith a formidable weapon in Batman's arsenal. So after Peter finishes his morning jog, because even superheroes need to stay in shape, he heads over to his workshop to start working on his new wall-crawling system. First, he needs to install their tiny little spikes that will help him grip onto surfaces while he's crawling. Next, he needs to hook up the pneumatic muscle actuators. Now, it's time to see these machines in action. So let's jump in and experience the Night Wraith and the Spider Ghost firsthand. We're here inside the Night Wraith. The engine purrs quietly around us as we glide through the dark alley. The controls are sleek and responsive. In front of us is a display showing our current position and a map of the surrounding area. With the ability to cling to any surface and bend light around its wearer, the Spider Ghost is truly a force to be reckoned with. Is it the heavy metal Night Wraith or the light-bending Vote in the comments below and let your voice be heard. But before you do, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more daily videos. And don't forget to hit the bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, happy. And with the added bonus of super speed and reflexes, the Spider Ghost is definitely a formidable opponent. Suddenly, we hear the screech of tires and the sound of police sirens. We activate the Night Wraith's cloaking device and disappear from sight. The sirens pass us by and we continue on our mission. These are essentially artificial muscles that will allow him to move around while he is clinging to a wall. But down here, in this shadowy underworld, there is only silence. Thanks to its sleek design and cutting-edge technology, it's the perfect tool for Batman to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies. But what about this? Is it just a flashy gimmick or a serious contender in the world of stealth? Let's find out. A single shaft of moonlight pierces through the gloom, illuminating dust particles dancing in the air. The wind whips past us as we move with ease up the smooth glass surface. Our enhanced vision shows us the world in a whole new way, every detail crisp and clear. With a thought, we activate our wall-crawling abilities and begin to scale the side of the building. The city lights blur below us as we move with the grace of a spider. Suddenly, we hear the sound of sirens and see the flashing lights of police cars in the distance. We move into the shadows, becoming one with the darkness. Our camouflage abilities kick in and we fade from view. The police cars pass by, searching for the ghost that haunts their nightmares. The Night Wraith moves like a phantom through the darkness, its presence barely a whisper in the stillness. As we round a corner, we see a group of figures huddled together in the shadows. They're our targets, and now we're in position to strike. Batman emerges from the darkness, his cape billowing behind him like a phantom. His voice, a low growl in the darkness, strikes fear into the hearts of his enemies. One wrong move, and they'll be facing the full force of the Bat. And finally, he needs to integrate the system with his suit's AI. This will allow him to control the wall-crawling system with his thoughts. Of course, it wouldn't be a proper stealth build without some cool gadgets, and Spider-Man's got a few of those up his sleeve, including this nifty little smokescreen generator. It's small and compact, but it packs a punch, capable of creating thick, billowing clouds of smoke that can obscure Spider-Man's movements. But perhaps even cooler is the hologram projector built into his wrist. With this, he can project realistic images onto any surface, making him practically invisible. The overall shape of the vehicle is designed to minimize drag and maximize maneuverability in tight spaces. Over on Batman's side of the lab, the Night Wraith is starting to take shape. The sleek black vehicle looks like a cross between a motorcycle and a skateboard with its narrow frame and low profile. The metamaterial panels are almost invisible, shimmering slightly in the light and blending seamlessly into their As Bruce steps back to admire his work, he knows that the Night Wraith is more than just a cool-looking machine. It's a symbol of everything he stands for: darkness, mystery, and an unrelenting pursuit of justice. This suit takes a completely different approach to stealth, but it's just as effective. The sleek, otherworldly-looking armor is made of a special material that bends light around its wearer, making it virtually invisible. But it's not just about the suit. Spider-Man's wall-crawling abilities, combined with his agility and reflexes, make him a force to be reckoned with. Even in broad daylight, he can move with such speed and precision that he appears almost ghostly. Alright, so Batman's part of the build is pretty straightforward. I mean, we all know he's not really much of a builder. He just buys all his stuff ready-made from some guy in a basement called Fish. So our first step is gone, Nabi, to install the silent electric engine that powers the Night Wraith. It's a sleek black box with a bunch of wires and blinking lights coming out of it. And I don't think I need to tell you why it's perfect for a stealth build. The motor itself looks like something straight out of a sci-fi movie with lots of sharp angles and glowing blue lines running along its length. It's unclear exactly how fast this thing goes, but it definitely won't be slow. In fact, it might be able to keep up with Spidey's wall-crawling speed. You see, Spider-Man's suit is designed to bend light around its wearer, creating a near-perfect invisibility cloak. But that's not all. The suit also allows Spider-Man to stick to any surface like a chameleon, blending seamlessly into its. This means he can stalk his prey from the shadows, or even walk right through the middle of a crowded street without being seen. But like the Night Wraith, the Spider-Ghost can also throw off enemy sensors. Instead of relying on metamaterial particles, the Spider-Ghost uses holograms to project a realistic image onto whatever surface it's clinging to. As a result, Spider-Man can disguise himself as anything or anyone, confusing his enemies and allowing him to strike from the shadows. But the real magic happens when we take a closer look at the material. These metamaterial panels are made up of tiny, almost invisible fibers that reflect radio waves and infrared light back at their source. As a result, the Night Wraith effectively disappears from radar, making it nearly impossible to track or target. This is especially useful for Batman, since he prefers to operate in the shadows and away from prying eyes. With the Night Wraith, he'll be able to strike fear into the hearts of his enemies without ever being seen. Now, if you've been around long enough, you know that no one does stealth quite like Batman. And his latest addition to his always impressive arsenal of gadgets is going to be a tough one to beat. He calls it the Night Wraith, and it's the culmination of years of research into the properties of metamaterials and how they interact with electromagnetic waves. But before we get to see how this cutting-edge tech actually works, we need to talk about the man who's trying to beat Batman at his own game. That's right. In fact, he was inspired by Batman's foray into metamaterial tech and decided to go all out with his latest design. But unlike Batman's Night Wraith, Peter Parker is taking a more experimental approach. Instead of trying to master the use of in other words, he's basically trying to become one with the city itself by turning his suit into a giant wall-crawling spider. This isn't just some crazy power fantasy either. If it works, this could completely change the way Spider-Man fights crime. No more swinging from building to building. No more just pure, silent, deadly stalking from the shadows. But can he really pull it off? And will his organic approach to stealth stand up to Batman's cutting-edge tech? Let's find out. But wait, there's more. Now, let's turn our attention to Spider-Man's plans for this. With these two radically different stealth vehicles in the running, the question is, which one will come out on top? Let's get started. Speaking of which, let's take a look at what's going on over there. But enough about the individual components. Let's see how they all come together to form the complete stealth machine. Meanwhile, on the other side of town, Spider-Man is putting the finishing touches on his Spider-Ghost suit. Alright, so we've seen the blueprints and the build process. Up above, we can hear the sound of police sirens and the distant rumble of traffic. So the Night Wraith may not be the fastest or the most technologically advanced stealth vehicle out there, but it's definitely one of the coolest. We're here inside the Spider-Ghost suit, clinging to the side of a skyscraper. So the Spider-Ghost may not be as heavy or as imposing as the Night Wraith, but is definitely more versatile. Now it's time for you to decide which stealth machine reigns supreme. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for notifications. Your support means a lot.